I just got in the Ducky One 3 series of keyboards. I have the Mini as well as the 65% SF in today that we're going to be taking a deeper look at. Both of these keyboards are absolutely stellar, and I'm sure that the full size and the TKL variants will be equally as good. Just depends on how big of a keyboard that you want. I typically prefer smaller keyboards. My favorite out of the two that I have is the SF because 65% are the best keyboards on the market right now. That's just my opinion. But my favorite two sizes right now are the 65% and the TKL actually. So that's just my preference, but I'm glad that Ducky offers a ton of sizes at the launch of the 1.3 series of keyboards. And these 1.3 keyboards come with a ton of added improvements that were not present in the 1.2 lineup. Go ahead and start off with the acoustics and the sound of the keyboard, because Ducky added acoustic foam below the PCB as well as a silicone dampening pad between the PCB and the top aluminum plate that gives you much better switch isolation, and you get rid of all that reverb and ping that you typically do have in a hollow keyboard case. But why would that matter, especially if you're using pretty bad Cherry MX switches? Well, the best part about this keyboard is that it is indeed hot swappable. So you can try your own switches in this keyboard if you don't like the switch options that are available. You have your USB Type-C on the left side of the keyboard as far as the 1.3 Mini and SF are concerned. You also get a really nice braided USB-C cable in the box, as well as a slew of other accessories. You get a keycap puller, a switch puller, you get some custom keycaps, not really custom keycaps, but you get some accent keycaps from Ducky, and they always give you plenty of them as well. And to a lot of you early adopters, you guys are going to get this little Ducky Bobble switch click keychain looking thing. It looks kind of cool. It's kind of fun to fidget with and play with if you really need, but yeah, it's a little bit bulky for me to put in my pocket and keep carrying around with me all the time, because I'm pretty sure that the MX Blue would probably drive me insane if I heard and felt that thing going off in my pocket all the time. I know you guys are going to ask about some of these little artisan keycaps that I had on during the video. I got these from zomoplus.store. One of them, which is my favorite, is this little Luffy keycap from One Piece that has like that little spinning Luffy hat on top of a crate. And then they also sent over a Dota 2 scythe, as well as this little rose that seemed like it was in like a glass or something like that. It was pretty cool. They call it the La Rose and Elephant artisan keycaps. So yeah, horrible French accent or whatever, but zomoplus.store does have some really cool artisans. If you guys want to check them out, link in the description below. But as far as the design, it is all plastic and metal, very similar to the 1.2 series of keyboards, but this keyboard I definitely noticed is a bit more angular this time around. You still do have those 3 steps of height adjustability. Right now on the screen, you guys are going to see the highest and the lowest, and the middle is somewhere in between. You get those super thick double shot PBT keycaps that do have a little bit of a sandy texture. They're not necessarily the best, in my opinion. They look very good. They feel pretty nice if you don't mind a grainy texture, and I've used Ducky keyboards in the past, so I'm very used to it. But if you don't like grainy texture keycaps, these just might not float your boat. But otherwise, as long as you can deal with it, they don't really collect sweat or anything. They reject it because they're PBT, and gaming with them for long periods of time, I love how they stay super dry and you have good grip on all of the keycaps. Ducky also did include their V2 stabilizers, which from the factory lube, they do sound pretty good, but they definitely could use a little bit of work. So you can go ahead and re-lube them yourself with Tool 5 Grade 0, or you can also decide to try out some Acoustics stabilizers that they sent over, and I just wanted to use for testing, and I thought that the 1.3 series of keyboards was a really great board to test out some different stabilizer options, especially comparing them to some very good stabilizers that come included with your brand new Ducky board. Yeah, both of those stabilizers are really good, especially the stock stabilizers that come with the 1.3 Mini. But if you do want a little bit of an upgrade and you want to try something a bit different, or maybe you just want to upgrade your existing hot swap 60% or 65% keyboard, I'll have a link to the Acoustics stabilizers in the description below. As far as the switch choices, we have the Cherry MX Silvers that I have on my 1SF, and then we also have the Cherry MX Blacks on the 1.3 Mini. My preferred switch between the two is definitely going to be the MX Silvers, even though I don't really love them because they're a little bit scratchy because they're their cherry switches, and the MX Blacks really aren't much better, but just the spring weight on the MX Blacks that I really had never tried before, the spring weight is a bit much, and it's not really the best for gaming. So if you're going to be using these for typing and you prefer a heavier switch, the MX Blacks could work for you, but I'm a lot more used to the MX Silvers, which have a much lighter spring. So if you're looking to play some games, I would definitely recommend going with MX Reds or MX Silvers. And you guys heard it there. The sound test of the keyboard speaks for itself. This is in its stock configuration without me going ahead and customizing this keyboard. But it's very easy to, like I showed you guys before, you can mod the stabilizers extremely easily. And you can also swap all of the switches to, I don't know, something else, literally anything else. You can put Gateron yellows in this thing. My favorite Gateron yellows at the moment are the Gateron G Pro yellows. You can try Novel Keys creams, you can try Gateron CJs, you can try some Texie switches. Really, any 5-pin switches that you want to try in this keyboard, as long as you use the OEM profile keycaps or any of the other Ducky keycap sets, you should be absolutely fine with trying out some different switches and seeing what you like. And I'm glad that Ducky added the hot swap functionality to their main line of keyboards that's going to be readily available, instead of just, in my opinion, the not the best looking special edition version of one of their keyboards. It was kind of ugly, but it's okay. It's in the past now. It's we don't have to worry about that one anymore, just to get one feature that's been included on a lot of other keyboards. But the thing that I'm mainly glad about is the fact that Ducky waited and they perfected this keyboard as much as they could before they released it. We've got good stabilizers that are easily tunable. We have foam underneath the PCB as well as in between the PCB and the plate that does a great job at isolating the switches. And I really don't see any reason to want to open up this keyboard to add in additional foam or anything like that, just because it just sounds so good. These Ducky One 3 keyboards I got from mechanicalkeyboards.com. I purchased the SF myself, so I'm keeping the one with the MX Silvers, and I'm probably going to swap those out for something else eventually. But they did send over the 1.3 Mini for testing, since I had not tried the 1.2 Mini for a long term previously, and I wanted to try out the mini series of keyboards and see if I like the fact that they changed the arrow keys from IJKL, I believe, to somewhere that's a little bit easier to reach on the keyboard. And it is a bit easier to reach, but I still prefer my dedicated arrow keys on the SF. If you guys are interested in a 1.3 keyboard for yourself, feel free to use code TOOMUCHTECH at checkout at mechanicalkeyboards.com. But getting back to the Ducky One 3 series of keyboards, one thing that I do want Ducky to do, really there's two main improvements that I want to see made to this keyboard that will make it absolutely perfect. Like right now, it's like perfect with a lowercase p. But if they want to make it perfect with a capital P, I would definitely say introduce a monochromatic color scheme. So, you know, like a black, a white, a black and white. I mean, if they released all three of those, I mean, that would be really cool. Or even like a gray. If you don't want to do black and white and just do like an all gray, maybe like black or white accents or something. I mean, I just think that that would be cool. Something a bit more basic that's not as flashy as the current color schemes that are available. The second thing that I would switch, I would add more switch options from other manufacturers. So not Cherry, let's add some Gaterons, let's add some Kales, just so we can eliminate the step of us purchasing different switches, and we can just go right ahead to modding the switches, lubing them, filming them, whatever, and making this keyboard sound absolutely fantastic. If you guys are interested in some additional typing tests of the 1.3, I will probably have some other tests coming up pretty soon with my SF that I'm going to be keeping, not with the MX Silvers, because, you know, it's a bit of a waste, I think, but I do have some other Cherry switches that I do want to try and review on my other channel, Tech Kyle, that I'll have linked in the description below if you guys want to check out some further keyboard content. But that's going to be all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoy, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out this keyboard from mechanicalkeyboards.com. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. And Ducky, when are you guys going to add the short shift key in the box for your keycap sets for the 65% keyboards? Like, when is that supposed to be happening? And when it happens, I want the free one. Okay, I want you to send me one for my Bon Voyage keycaps that I waited over a year for them to be in stock, because I ordered them. Was it last year that I ordered them? Or no. I ordered those Bon Voyage keycaps in 2020, and then I canceled the order in 2021, and then they finally came in like real late last year, and to my surprise, they don't come with a short shift for my brand new Ducky One 3 SF.